Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman and I talk about all things horror. And I'm continuing my new video series, Horror Franchise Rankings. I'm not going to be able to do these every week, but I wanted to go ahead and do one this week because I haven't done a lot of videos this past couple weeks. And I have one that was primed and ready to go. This is the Scream franchise. Now, I have watched all six of the existing Scream movies multiple times. I've seen the first one the most, obviously. And my views on these movies have evolved over the years. First time I watched Scream, way back in the day, I didn't really like it that much. Um, it took a while to grow on me. Um, but that's mostly because I actually watched Scary Movie before I watched Scream, and that was a mistake because I couldn't get Scary Movie out of my head the whole time I was watching Scream, so I had a hard time taking it seriously. Um, so there is that. And um, also, I was able to, understand them better as I got older and started watching more slasher movies, and I saw the tropes and things showing up in slasher movies. So we'll start with number six. The worst one in the franchise, in my opinion, happens to be Scream 6. Uh, Not really a fan of this movie. Um, I'm in the minority among Scream fans. I didn't care for the new characters that much. And I didn't like the fact that this was Scream in New York. I also thought that the motivation of the family at the end of the movie was flimsy. And I didn't like, what's his name? Ghostface running around with a shotgun for part of the movie. It just felt really out of character. Number five is Scream 3. The first time I watched Scream 3, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I just thought it was, not as good as the first two. Um, since I rewatched it recently, I have picked up on some things about Scream 3 that I either didn't notice or they didn't bother me as much the first time around. But mostly, my biggest problem is with them retconning Stu and Billy's motivation in Scream 1 by introducing, Sydney's brother and that whole messy thing. And I'm not a big fan of the her dead mother showing up in her dreams sequences in the movie because it almost adds an air of a supernatural element to the movie, which feels really out of place. Number four, and this wasn't intentional. This is just, I mean, the ranking was, but this falling in this place just happened to be the way I ranked it. Scream 4 on the list is number 4 on the list. I really did not enjoy Scream 4. Hardly at all. Um, Between the two, I think I would say I kind of enjoyed 4 a little bit more than 3, only slightly, and mostly uh, because it kind of updates the Scream formula a little bit. But overall, I don't really have a lot of fun when I'm watching Scream 4. I'm just kind of bored. Number 3 is Scream 2. Now, I know some people just pretty much say, um, for some people, this list would just be in the order they came, release order, in reverse, one being the best, and then they would just go down the list. Uh, but I actually really like Scream 2, but it's not my favorite in the franchise. Um, Again, I have some minor nitpicks with Scream 2, which I've already talked about in a previous video, where I've picked apart the Scream franchise. But I like Scream 2 better than the three I've previously that I just mentioned, 4, 3, and 6. But obviously, I don't like it better than 1 and 5. So let's talk about number 2, which is Scream 5. I really like Scream 5. A lot of what I like about Scream 5 is it had the balls to kill off one of the main characters, one of the legacy characters. And another thing I like about Scream 5 is it actually like talks about modern tropes in horror. So not just updating what's going on in, the teens' lives like Scream 4 does, but actually like commentating on the changes that have been made to the horror genre since Scream came out, or in the case of the movie, Stab. And then obviously the best one is Scream 1, the original. Not every case on these lists is the original going to be number one. Definitely not. But in a lot of cases, the original will be the best in a franchise because it just usually is. I'm not going to tell you which franchises won't have the original in the number one spot because, I want you to watch those videos. And who knows, maybe upon rewatching the franchises, I may change my mind. Because I have certainly flip-flopped on Scream 4 and 6. I would have had those reversed. But the second time I watched Scream 6, I didn't like it even more than the first time I watched it when I didn't like it. So, I'm kind of relieved Scream 7 isn't happening. Because if they're gonna do another Scream movie, I want something different, something completely different, or, as I've stated numerous times here and on social media, just give me Ghostface in space. That's what I fucking want. That's what we all want. We want Ghostface in space. Why won't they give it to us? It even rhymes.